There we go. All right, welcome back. Glad You Game Pod coming at you live or recorded. Either one. Season 2, baby boo. What it do?
Oh, we got season 2 on?
Finally had a feeling of what it feels like to have a week off. It's kind of nice. Needed to. Almost did a solo one, but I was like, let's take the full week.
Yeah.
Sage had plans. I had plans. It was easy. It was nice. I missed everybody. Missed you guys, but it was good. We got a ton of info. We got PlayStation Showcase,
Get that mic
which
in
is
there.
majority
Get
of
that
the
mic
info.
in there.
There's a new link.
I said get that mic in there.
Oh, the mic's inside me. It's all This
Kinky.
I still got to get used to this new angle of it. It's like so weird to me. All right, so before I go over any of that, there was an esports tournament over the weekend. This is before we go into anything else. But Cake Assault, which is the guy's name, won Rivals of Aether at Riptide. None of that needs to mean anything to anybody. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because Cake Assault literally celebrated so hard. He's just like, I don't know how old he is, but probably maybe 20s, 18, 20, something. He's excited. He's flailing his arms around like, yeah, he won at the end of the esport, like shaking his hand so much that he dislocated his shoulder. And then so you see, in the video of it, you see his shoulder dislocate.
That's amazing.
And then pops back in. It is crazy. So I'm showing Shades it now. You see it, and then that's when it dislocated.
Ow.
Yeah. Talk about a celebration. Talk about a celebration. Which we got a little scotch and brew. We're doing it. We're doing it wild here.
boy.
We're getting a little fresh.
Oh. Clink clink.
Japanese whiskey as well. So we're Wagyu. Is it Weibo, right?
I have no idea what you're asking.
No, Weibo is the one from Flubber. Weeaboo?
Yes, that is the one from Flubber.
Weeaboo. It's generally a derogatory slang term for a Western person who's obsessed with Japanese culture.
Yeah.
So,
I can see that.
there's another one of it. I forget what it is, but we could say it says derogatory, but we like Japanese culture, so fuck it. Also, they make incredible fucking whiskey, so fuck you.
Fuck you.
You son of a bitch. But no, we're excited to be back. Yeah, we're getting a little lit, have some stuff to talk about. We're obviously getting into the PlayStation Studio stuff. So that dislocated shoulder I thought was funny. Also, PlayStation, the PS5 fucking finally had its update yesterday.
Oh, how'd that go?
Yesterday being the 15th. So that now you can add the M2 SSD into your PS5. It's supported, meaning you can expand your size. So that 1 terabyte, really it's smaller than 1 terabyte. You can expand with the SSD of your choice. It's awesome. There's a ton of compatible ones out there. The 980 Evo, the other ones. Now there's I have them all subscribed to on Amazon. The reason they're subscribed to on Amazon is because you can't order a single fucking one of these things. They are completely sold out. Every option
It kind of makes sense.
of one that would actually work is sold out everywhere. So let's I'm trying to
See if
so the WD Black SN850, the Samsung 980 Pro, the Fire CUDA 530, all of these I'm looking for 2 terabytes specifically. All of these, specifically the WD Black SN850 and the Fire CUDA. Why? Because I'm getting those with heat sinks, because you do need a heat sink.
That sounds right.
So you can get the 980. To be fair, you can get the 980 Pro Samsung today on Amazon, just without the heatsink. You have the heatsink's $17, $18, and you can apply it. You clip it on yourself. If you're comfortable with that, you can do it. I just like the read-write speeds a little better on the WD Black and the Fire CUDA. It's not crazy different, but it's different enough that I don't want anything to hold it back. They're all doing 7,000 read, which is great, which is above what PS5 requires. But the write speed is where it's different. The WD Black is in this, I think 6,800. The Samsung is like right over 6,000, and the Fire Cuda is like 7,200. So I really want the Fire Cuda.
Yeah.
But, it's not like it's going to utilize all that. So you don't have to. So you could get the 980 Pro, which is fine. The Fire Cuda, actually, they are targeting as a PS5's hard drive. So the other two just work. For example, SN850 is actually what Mark Cerny, who's the designer of the PS5, uses.
Okay.
And the second he tweeted that out, it was sold out everywhere. The 500, the 2 terabyte, the 1 terabyte. The Fire Cuda also comes in 500, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and 4. So you could get really big there.
Damn.
Now, granted, these are not cheap. If you want it with the heatsink, I mean, you're talking like $200-300 for a 2 terabyte.
What?
Yeah, because of the M2 drive, these are the Gen 4. You need a Gen 4 N2 drive. Those incredibly fast sequential read-write speeds, you got to pay for it, but they're the only ones compatible. You can get now again. That's 2 terabyte. If you do 1 terabyte, it's like $180, which isn't terrible, but it's like. Or you can do 500, which is like less than 100. Now, the 980 is probably the one that's the easiest to get. Like I said, you can get a 980 2 terabyte right now for about $3. So, yeah, you can get it for about, let me look. I will just look at it right now. Yeah, the write speed for the 980 is only 5,100. That, like I said, the write speed is a lot lower, but they only require 5,000. But still, if you're going to be spending the $380 that 980 costs for the Samsung, you might as well just wait. Because the other ones are about the same price, and they come with a heatsink, and 1,000 extra write speed, so almost 2,000 extra write speed in the other one. So,
yeah,
I would say the Fire Cuda 530 or the WD Black 850. With the heat sinks is what you wait for. If you see them, grab them. But those ones, 500, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte, all sold out everywhere. Newegg, Best Buy, Amazon, whatever the fuck, you cannot get them. Now, this is tool of the trade for all the fucking tech and cars and everything recently. Just everything's kind of held behind by semiconductors and things like that, but also just the factories themselves are overproducing X and they can't produce Y. They are terrible at line graphs is what I'm saying. But when you do get it, I'm sure it'll be awesome. I can't fucking wait for it. You do have to remove a screw. Get over it. It takes like 4 seconds to do this. I popped it open just to see how long the process is going to take me. Pretending I had one of these hard drives.
Yeah.
Pop the drive, unscrew the thing, get ready to screw it in. 30 seconds flat. And that's not even me like rushing. It's just that easy. Put the thing in. All in all, 1 minute, you'll be fine. No big deal. Just make sure it's off. Don't do it when it's on. As soon as you power it on, it recognizes it. Just say format that bitch, and it's like, I got you, baby girl. And it does it. That's the exact wording it says. Also,
I got you.
I gave Hunter Hurst, is it Hayden Hurst or Hunter Hurst? I think it's hold on.
I'm quite certain I don't know who you're talking about.
Hold on before I say something stupid. Whoa! We almost lost it.
Almost lost the camera.
Oh my gosh.
The system
Herman Holst. God damn.
Herman Holst.
Herman Holst. He's the head of PlayStation Studios.
Okay.
He's been sending out sweet kits to everybody that works for PlayStation Studios. We don't, obviously, but I did tweet at him. I was like, look, we say bad and good things to you all the time. Mainly good, but also bad but we'll take 2 kits.
Yeah.
But, and it's like a sweet, t-shirt.
Pop them on over.
Yeah. But the bad, which I think I might just tweet at him every day because he's actually very responsive, is where the fuck is PlayStation Design Studio? Where is it? Like, You're doing everything else. I get it. But the one thing Xbox is still kicking that ass. I want to make a fucking sweet controller. And you're not letting me. And there's no reason why you shouldn't. All right? Like, I got to wait for my hard drive. Let me get a cool fucking controller in the meantime to, like, handle my curiosity.
Yes, please.
I want to make it sexy. Or give us more options. We only have like 2 or 3 options right now. So like just give us either release like 20 options or just let us customize that shit and put the extra 10, 15 bucks on, and I'm ready to pay right now.
Yeah.
I would love that. All right. So
I did want to double check just to make sure everyone's still aware. PlayStation 5 out of stock.
oh yeah, yeah. Have fun finding that. But they're apparently going to have enough for holiday season. I expect
No, they're not.
I expect Series X and PS5.
Do you think they're holding on to some of them just so
Yes.
they? Okay.
I expect the week of Black Friday, and all of December. You will at least 3 days a week, if not every day of the week. Walmart, Target, Best Buy will have live sales. That would be like we go live at 3 p.m., noon, and 7 p.m. every day. And we're going to sell X amount, and I expect them all to do that, and they put some physical copies in stores as well.
That's some bullshit.
Because they said they had enough to meet that demand, that because they got that extra unit sale before the end of the year. So I expect they're holding on to them, and they're going to kind of release a bunch, and hopefully a bunch actually physically in the store to help the scalper thing. The good note is scalper PS5 and Xbox scalpers are actually, they're selling for less now. So the scalper market is dwindling.
Thank gosh.
It's because they are becoming a little more, the supply is trickling in, but also people are like, I can fucking wait at this point.
Yeah.
So I think it's the mixture of those two things, which is good to see because then you get less of that bullshit. But it might get an uptick around Christmas. We'll see. So let's. Okay. Yep.
Well, I was gonna say that we should probably at least touch a little on the fact that the new iPhone is out, and like with
120 hertz screen. That one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, which is just like
Sick.
another level of mobile gaming, which still blows my mind.
Which is better than the Switch.
That is the that is the only gaming that I've done the past week is all mobile gaming.
You still doing that mobile traffic thing?
No, I've moved on to just like one of those like blockbuster kind of like you shoot the ball around.
Oh,
I also found
I always thought you were putting VHS tapes away.
I also found this cool ass game where there's like people running away and then like zombies or just other things like chasing them, and you're like a gunner on a chopper just shooting them until you go into like a first person kind of view with like everyone running at you, and you're like shooting over them to try and like pick them off so that they don't grab your people. And it's super simple. They do have different skins, which like normally I could give 2 shits.
Yeah.
But the one is like you're dressed up as like a safari dude and you're being chased by like Tyrannosaurus Rex. And there's just 100 tiny Tyrannosaurus Rex. And they're like crawling up the building, like the side of the building, like zombies would and everything.
Pretty fucking awesome.
It's like for
which one's that? What's that called?
I don't know.
T-Rex assault. Zombie assault.
Anyone that's on video, sorry, I'm gonna hop off for a second here.
Oh, you bastard.
You bastard. It is called ZEscape.
ZEscape. Love it. Easy, simple, but sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, it was definitely one where I was like exporting DVDs, and I was like,
mobile
this is
gaming
a good thing to
is
just
huge.
hang out. Yeah,
and it's going to only get better, especially like you said with the 13, especially the 13 Pro with the 120 hertz screen, all that. I mean, it's to me, it's now starting to compete with the Switch and the low level Steam Deck. I mean, that's kind of almost what they're going to go into that market because it costs just as much.
I'm surprised they don't have like more proprietary like setup stuff with this website's the coolest thing to look through when you're actually like discovering what the iPhone is, but when you're just trying to scroll down to where the gaming part is, it's all these like animated little like
it's always like spinning around. It's like, look at this, and you're like,
yeah.
oh my god, I just want the give me the boilerplate. And they're like, that doesn't look fancy.
We'll say the big lacking thing is battery life. 2.5 hours on the Max, and then 1.5 on the Mini.
The battery life's always been the problem with fucking iPhones.
Yeah.
And that you can't pop that bitch out and pop a new one in. That's another problem.
Yep.
But that gives it a sleek design, so I guess you gotta give and take.
Yeah. Yep. So for anyone out there that is waiting for the next generation of mobile gaming, I suppose it's here. We'll see.
Boom. Welcome to the future.
Also, there was a ruling on the whole...
the Epic versus Apple, which Apple kind of won it. It was so basically
It's
Apple.
so weird. It's like you can't do that, but you can.
Well, they like you have to allow third-party links for payment options. So like not just only your Apple Pay options.
Yeah.
You have to allow other people like, but you can kind of still control the rest of the sandbox. So Epic's like, fuck that, and then they're re-suing it again. So it was kind of in favor of Epic being like, we'll let you use your payment system, but you still have to play in the sandbox, and they can still kind of like decide.
Was it the payment system, or was it letting people contact directly?
It's the payment system because they have to be allowed to use a third party. Like they can use a link to use a third party payment system that they don't control.
Okay.
But Epic didn't love it because they were like they're kind of stuck in the sandbox. There's basically like 20 counts. A couple went for Epic, most went for Apple, and Epic's continuing the saga.
Yeah.
So we have a couple things. So one, I'm holding the showcase off because there's so much to talk about in that. Did you see any of it? I watched the whole thing, but did you?
I watched a couple trailers, but I did not like sit and watch through the whole thing. There's definitely a lot
40
that I'm excited about, but
okay,
yeah,
it was 40 minutes of like, hey, we're doing this. This is basically our E3.
Yeah,
and then he's like, I'll just stop, and then it just went wall to wall trailers for 40 minutes. Then they had a second thing that was like meet the devs, and we'll go into some of this stuff. But that wasn't a part of the official showcase.
Yeah.
Which was cool that they did that, but like it was the announcements and stuff with two major announcements. One of which I don't think anybody saw coming. There wasn't even leaks about it, and it's groundbreaking. But before we go into any of that, one of the parts which this does the showcase is we got to see God of War Ragnarok. Full
that
trailer.
Is one of the ones I watched,
then there was a dev diary about it. You got to go more into it. It's not Corley Barlog doing it. New director, but that's kind of how it's always been done. He's working on a new IP. He is doing producing. He's the one who directed the last God of War game. It looks incredible. It really does. The cool part is like you're gonna fight Thor, and if you are doing the whole Norse saga thing, it kind of picks up right where the 2018 one left off. It looks amazing, and like the whole idea is made. And then it also has the cool thing is it ends with Tyr, who is the Norse version of God of War. That's the guy that stands up and it's like even taller.
Oh yeah. It ends with Thor though, doesn't it?
No, so Thor is like, I thought you were a good man, or are you a calm and rational person?
Yeah.
But then the last
Tyr's
scene,
after. Okay.
The last scene is Tyr, where he stands up, and then the God of War Kratos stands up, and then Tyr stands up, and he's like another 3 feet tall. And I like tweeted out, I was like, when you say you're 6 feet on a dating app versus when you're 6 feet in real life, and that actually got some good traction. I was like, all right, I've never done one of those jokes before, but
yep.
But yeah, so that's Tyr, who's the Norse God of War, whereas Kratos is the Greek God of War, right?
Correct. Well, I mean, Ares is the Greek God of War.
Yeah.
But that's like the whole conceit of the first one is that you are taking on the God of War, and then you become the God of War because you defeat him, kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. So this is like the Norse God of War, but it looks more like it's going to be a team up more than a fight. I couldn't really tell, but it'll be very intense. Obviously, the Thor fight is going to be the big one because it's
Yep.
And they did say that Odin is in this as well, which I'm pretty excited to see. But also they did confirm this week, which is also new, which is why I was saying this kind of exterior to the showcase, because we can go into what we saw, which looks amazing. And also, fuck, everybody's like, it looks just like 2018. Like, no, it doesn't. You don't understand it. They're like, they're reusing animations. Like, they're really not. And like, you just don't understand how game development works. Because something does look similar doesn't mean the exact animations are rendered the same. Doesn't mean they're using the same assets. It doesn't mean all this shit. I'm not going to go into it.
Not to mention they show like all these different. Yeah, sure, you might have a couple of the same movesets, but like that's how God of War has always been. Like when you get
it's also like you're trying to build a whole new thing. It's like, well, we already have an animation to get in a boat.
When you get the Blades of Chaos in the last game, they are using very similar animations to the original game that came out 2004.
People are saying they're using the exact asset.
Whoa, they wrong.
And it's just like so stupid. It's like, yeah, it might be similar, but it's not. It's like you have to rebuild all of this shit. Can you reuse stuff? Yes, but they're still probably rendering now in 4K, for example, for the PS5.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's there. But the other part, which I want to get your take on, because I'm not sure if you know this, they announced yesterday as well that this will be officially the end of the Norse saga. There is no third game for this. They're like, we didn't want the fans to wait 15 years for a trilogy.
Yeah.
Because it took us about 5 years to make each game. I think one of the most important reasons is the first game took 5 years. The second game, I don't know how long it's going to take. But I'm just going to throw out it's going to be close to the same thing because we know it's releasing next year. Then if you take a third one in that same time frame, we're talking a span of 15 years of a single story, and I just feel that's too stretched out. I feel like we're asking too much to say the actual completion of the story taking that long. It's just too long. Given where the team was at and where Eric is the new director, Eric was at with what he wanted to do, I was like, this is Cory Barlow, by the way, saying quote. I was like, look, I think we can actually do this all in the second story, because most of what we're trying to do from the beginning was tell something about Kratos and Atreus, who's really Loki, that the core of the story's engine is really the relationship between these two characters.
I also don't like that, spoiler alert, for the trailer, I guess, that he knows he's Loki in the trailer.
Well, he finds it out at the end of the first game.
I thought just Kratos found it out.
No, Kratos has known it. Remember, Atreus looks at, because Atreus is the kid, he's looking at the wall, and then he finds out he's Loki.
But wasn't the Loki name behind the curtain or whatever?
It was, but he you see like Kratos kind of push it and that kind of thing. But I thought Atreus did also see it himself.
All right, yeah,
but maybe he did.
I would need to go back and see.
Maybe it's been a couple years since I played that exact. I thought he did know he was Loki at the end of the game, but obviously you as the audience did, which was the big like, whoa. But Kratos is a pretty straightforward guy, so he probably just fucking told him. He's like, shut up, bitch, Loki. And he was like, what? And he's like, damn it, I guess I'll tell you. But also one of the cool thing was, so that's interesting, and we can kind of go into that. Just like what do you think about making it 2 games as opposed to 3? Which not everything needs to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, not everything. There are good 2-set stories.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a trilogy to have a character arc in a story. It's just like, yeah, we do that a lot now. Mainly financial gain is the reason.
Well, I mean, my freaking feelings about the first game is I was super freaking upset when it got to the end of it. And I'm like, this is the fucking game? It was a great game, but like, you can't just tease all this shit.
You feel open, yeah.
And then like, it would be like, if you had Horizon Zero Dawn and you saw half the map and then they were just like, oh yeah, you can't get there.
And that, I agree. And like half the realms you couldn't get to. So
yeah.
I agree. And then, but I would say this story did kind of feel like sealed at the end, except for the Loki part and a couple other questions.
Yeah.
But I like that it's ending with 2. Would I love a third one? Sure. But they keep saying it's the end of the Norse saga. Doesn't mean it's the end of God of War. They keep saying Norse saga. To me, that sounds like that's the end of this iteration of God of War, which is a different iteration, but it is a continuation of the couple, previous series. Yeah. So could be like maybe they'll dive into something else
Egyptian
in like 10 years. Yeah. Like, but we can take a break.
Egyptian would actually be fucking sweet.
Yeah. But they're probably telling people this to be like, this is the conclusion of this story.
Yeah.
When we come back in 10 years, it's not.
And it might not even be 10 years. It might be another 5 years.
Right,
but they're just going to start doing, they're going to pull a, what's the guy with the wrist blade?
SpiderMan?
No, Blade. He cuts off his finger so the blade can.
Assassin's Creed?
There we go. They're going to pull an Assassin's Creed where they just start hopping around.
You're doing a Spider-Man move.
I did the one finger because it's missing. And
gotcha. The shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is kind of like Assassin's Creed. But like these stories do continue because like the God of War 2018 is a continuation of the first 3 games because he references all that stuff is still canon in that
Absolutely.
story.
I'm just saying like if he starts hopping around and they do reference it, but it is pretty light.
Right. No, you don't have to pay the first 3, but they're like there's kind of like a 5-minute intro that's like this is what happened, this is what he killed his family and all this, and that's why he hated fucking Zeus and shit like that. And then but 2 things I want to get to. One, I actually really like that because I mentally know there's a conclusion in this. It was cool with the Loki tease and some of the stuff they teased at the end, but like kind of I felt like I was kind of getting edged.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to finish. I've been edged since 2018. Let me just bust this nut. And I'm glad we don't have to wait another 5 years. I think that's really respectful of the game and the gamer, and that they kind of like can scope it, that they're not going to be like, we're not going to just make a third game just to make a third game. So like, we can close the story out here. Let's just do that. I also like it because they mentioned the title is God of War Ragnarok, and the director was like, you can't call the game Ragnarok and not have Ragnarok happen.
Which
I was like, thank God. Like, don't make it, that's the end of the game. And then the third one is like, it's like, no, that will be the culmination, but that's the end of the storyline as well.
Yes.
Which is, I respect that. That's like, you're not fucking being a dick tease. You're basically doing what you're set out to. They also confirmed all 9 realms are open in this game. You can go to all of them. There's going to be no bullshit. Blocked realms. And I'm like, because there's a lot of them. You're like, I want to go there. What the fuck? And it's like, I can go to like Midgard and shit. It's like,
yeah. Don't worry, you can go to the boring ones.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm curious if they'll all be open, or it'll be like Niflheim, where it's kind of like more of like a challenge realm.
Yeah.
Instead of like an actual like play area. I'm hoping they make them all play areas because they're going to be leveraging on the PS5. Although I think it's built for both. So I'm not sure how much it's going to be leveraging all the PS5 tech because it's just not built ground up.
Yeah.
But with all that knowledge, I'm actually more excited because I know I'm getting a conclusion. So I'm more excited to see this. Absolutely. And I feel like I'm getting a bigger game.
Dude, that'll be...
Because they might even be adding more story time into this because like instead of extending through a third game, just put that 10 extra hours of story in this one and we'll just fucking do it.
Do you think they're going to kill Kratos off?
I think they do. I think they kill Kratos and it's going to be like Loki, Atreus is going to kind of continue.
Which I could, I guess, kind of get behind, but like that would...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
But if they're saying this is the end of the Norse, although Kratos does not have anything to do with Norse stuff, Atreus does, being Loki.
Yeah.
So maybe he's going to kill the son again. I don't know. And then that's going to be the end of it. So
that'll be
wild and unexpected because I feel like I expect Kratos to die when they're like, there's a conclusion, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But Loki, it's like, you're not going to kill the kid, but it's like, we keep saying it's the end of the Norse saga. The only one of the two that has anything to do with Norse mythology is the kid. He is technically in the wrong mythology.
Yeah. And that would like
kind of
continue the whole God of War like thing.
Right, depending on how he dies.
That he's lost his family kind of thing, yeah.
Right. So I'm definitely I would say I'm more excited for this. Everything I saw looks fucking great. Does it look a lot the same? Sure. But I also saw a lot of new environments. We got the 9 realms, and we know we're getting a conclusion to a story that was incredibly intriguing. So I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm excited to bash my fucking head through the wall, but with more Valkyrie fights that are like impossible to beat.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I let myself just say I was finished.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited for that. So, also, since the last one we did this...
Yeah, I definitely feel like we could talk about it forever, but there's a lot to discuss.
Right. And just as... So, since the last one, because I forgot, the standard edition PS4 version of Horizon Forbidden West, if you buy the PS4, you get the PS5 one for free. They changed that the day after we recorded. So now the funny part is on the store you can buy the PS4 one or the PS5 one. PS5 one's $70, PS4 $60. If you pay the $60, you get the PS5 version. So save yourself $10 and just buy the PS4 one. If they realize this, or eventually I expect that the store to catch up, they have to just start selling the PS5 one for $60.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you're doing that, and it was cool that they acknowledged it very quickly to fan reaction. They're like,
we get it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
They also guaranteed every single upgrade game from now on. Every single first party upgrade game will either have the free upgrade or a $10 upgrade guaranteed from standard edition.
Nice.
Upgrade path. And it's like, no shit. This should have been in place before. But the fact that you at least gave us the path that you're sticking to, I don't care if it's $10. At least I know that. Like, I know that. And that's fine. But like now we know going in.
Yeah, they're not just dicking people around. Yeah.
Right. So I did want to get to that. But yeah, we're already halfway through. Let's get the PlayStation Showcase. So obviously also PlayStation bought another company, Fire Sprite Games. They helped build the Playroom, which was fun, and the Persistence, and they bring a lot of
the Playroom, like the little robot dude.
Yes.
Okay, that could be real fun.
Yeah. So they helped build the Playroom, and they helped build the Persistence, which is another game smaller than Liverpool, but they're officially under the PlayStation Studio umbrella, the 15th studio under their umbrella. But so not a lot of huge IPs, but some stuff that they definitely have created and creative team. They did the Playroom, Run Sackboy Run, and the Playroom VR. So as notable ones. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. They're not high profile, but you don't need that. And to be honest, Insomniac, let's just talk about the PlayStation Studios. We're gonna have stuff to talk about. It's Insomniac. It's the Insomniac Games showcase, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Insomniac Games is the MVP of all game studios in the last decade. Period. Done. Not PlayStation, not Xbox, not Nintendo, not specific to any of them. Insomniac. Why do I say that? Their list, which just keeps growing, and the PlayStation Showcase really show that, is, and not only that, so since PlayStation 5 came out, they have released 2 games on PS5 since it came out. Miles Morales, SpiderMan Miles Morales, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. One studio.
Yeah. 2
PS5 games. They also have done SpiderMan Remastered,
Spyro,
Sunset Overdrive, Ratchet & Clank 2016, and they start with Fuse in 2013. I'm just going to go for the last decade, but they've done all the Ratchet games, and also Resistance, and stuff like that. But so that's the cool stuff with them. They also have Spyro, but they released Resistance 3 in 2011, and then since then it was Resistance 3, Ratchet & Clank, Fuse, which is okay.
But then I played Fuse.
But then you go to Sunset Overdrive, which is huge. Ratchet & Clank on 2016, which was kind of getting people back into it. Then they dropped their dick with Spider-Man. I mean, that was the Marvel property thing. Incredible. Then they do Miles Morales, which is awesome. That just dropped December. And you're great. Then they're oh, and no, we got Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart coming out 5 months after this. The same fucking studio. They are by far the MVP gaming studio. No one's put as much content from multiple IPs that are also considered exceptional. Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank, exceptional games. They're GOTY material.
And I feel like Bethesda's up there, but
no, because the problem is Bethesda does release some big games, but they're always buggy as shit, and they generally have a lot of issues. Now, Bethesda's also not generally the developer, a lot of times a publisher.
Okay. And
so it's under that, Arcane. For example, Arcane Deathloop, which came out this week, and I've been playing Deathloop the last 2 days. It's fucking awesome. That is definitely go to the year. But that's the only game they've released on this generation. Insomniac has released 2 PlayStation 5 this generation games. No other studio can say that. Period.
Yeah.
Then they announced 2 more PlayStation 5 exclusive games, obviously because they're a PlayStation studio, at the PlayStation Showcase. One, we get the game we've all been waiting for and wanting, and it's Spider-Man 2. They show it. You got Spider-Man, Miles Morales fighting, and then they got Venom overlaid, and it shows off its Venom, which could be Harry because he was teased at the end of Spider-Man and Miles Morales as the symbiote, helping him with that experimental treatment.
Yep.
So,
I mean, that has to be what it is, right?
Well, it's him, or he could be Carnage, and maybe it's gonna be it's Eddie Brock will be Venom like it is traditionally. But either way, I'm fucking interested.
Yeah.
But it looks awesome. We only saw a quick training, but that was enough. And it said 2023, which hurts, but not really. I feel like 2020, 2021 have gone by insanely fast.
2023 will be here before you know it.
Right. And it's we have enough games. There's 1 billion games coming out between February and March 2022 that you won't be able to finish playing all of them. There are so many games in that 2-month period because every delayed game from this year just said February or March 2022.
Yeah.
It's literally like 11 AAA games that something's going to have to move, but it's crazy. It's like, sure, dude, we'll take that. Like, so they will be stuff to play. The voice actor said the reason why it's 2023 is because it's so incredibly massive.
All right.
He's like, it has to be. He's like, it's insanely massive. And they confirmed ground up PS5. Meaning
we are moving away from the last generation.
None of the old is holding them back.
Yeah.
They are fully going to utilize everything. You thought Miles Morales looked great. You thought Spider-Man Remastered looked great. Just wait for this. We are just getting into people starting to fully utilize the console because it always takes like 4 or 5 years till we see like the precipice of that.
Yep.
Let's go. We saw a GTA 5 remastered trailer. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
It looks good. There is a license plate in it that says 6 is late 90s. A lot of people are taking that to mean GTA 6 is going to be set in the late 90s.
I would also take it that way.
They're not notorious for putting Easter eggs in their trailers, so it could just be a random license plate, although it's like you would think you would.
That being said, they also haven't released
a game
a new GTA in a decade. So we can't really say that like, oh, they're known for this when
right. So
they haven't been known for anything but fucking updates for the past.
Yeah. And it's also about fucking time. Like we need like online, I get it, you're pumping it out, but it's time to fucking give us the new GTA. Like it's just time.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's the case. You got a story trailer for Deathloop. We got.
I specifically didn't watch that because I'm like, I know enough. I don't want to keep diving into the story without just playing it.
Yeah, dude, it's incredible. I mean, I've only played like 4.5 hours, but it's fucking awesome. It's definitely goaty. We got a GTA 7, GT7, Gran Turismo.
Yes.
7. Finally, something to look at. I feel like it's been like a decade since we've seen one of these. That's an official number, not like sport or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not big into Forza. I'm not big into racing games. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
So great.
Dude, I don't know what it is about those games. I mean, maybe just because they're not trying to do a face, but like once you're not trying to like animate a character model, you can put so much into like all the rest of the graphics of the game.
Oh yeah, like the ray tracing on that car and shit. Like
that's amazing. Like. Yeah. I mean, I've told this story before, but like my mom walked in when I was playing Stunt Driver.
Oh, dude, I love Stunt Driver. So good.
And it was one of like the playbacks.
Hit L1 to hit the wooden blocks and you flip your car.
Overtake.
Yep.
My mom walked in during like the review scene and she's like, oh, what movie is this? And I'm like,
wait, Stuntman, right?
Stunt Driver, I believe, but it's been a while. I mean, we're talking high school at this point.
Yeah.
And like I was like, stupid, can't you see how the wheels are turning? Can't you see that the graphics aren't great? But like now I'm to that point where like I see footage and I'm like, this is fucking realer than real life. Stuntman, okay. Yeah, and it's
well, there's a game called Stunt Driver from 1990, so but
not that one.
Okay.
The one that you drive the tuk-tuk.
Yeah, it's Stuntman. No, that's cool. I mean, dude. I hope they bring back Stuntman. Way to bring that up, like,
dude, that would be awesome.
Oh, completely unrelated. Well, related to just like, we got an anniversary of Siphon Filter. Can we get that fucking game back? Because that was incredible. Ben Studio, I'm coming at you, baby. Mm-hmm. Where is it at? Also, officially announced. I made a joke about it. I made a random tweet. Joke about it. Next thing you know, the official Sony account likes the tweet on the Glad You Game. I'm like, why are they doing this? And I just said, it's been a while. Let's get a new Twisted Metal. 15 hours later, apparently, new Twisted Metal in the works for PS5. Twisted Metal, and we knew there was a Twisted Metal TV series come out, which just officially cast Anthony Mackie as John Doe. He's definitely playing Sweet Tooth. There's no way he's not. John Doe, it's got to be Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
But I tweeted out a GIF of Sweet Tooth, and I was like, "Where?" They're like, "What was your favorite PlayStation 1 game?" I was like, Twisted Metal, hands down. Where's this remake? And that's what Sony liked. And it was 15 hours later. They're like, apparently there's a PS5 Twisted Metal remake. I'm like, yeah, there is, baby. Let's get back into that. Not part of the PlayStation showcase, but they showcased our tweet, so I appreciate that.
Hell yes.
They were the only like, for the record, they were the only like on the tweet, but it's the only one that matters.
I'm also really excited about the.
Don't. Okay,
well, I can't say some shit.
No, there's one game I want to hold to the end.
Yeah, it's not that one. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection.
How do you know
because,
huh? How do you know which one?
I know it's not that one.
Okay, yeah, no,
like
it's
a fucking
no, that is good.
Collection. Like
it could have been. I love that game.
Yeah, I know you do, but that's
No, you're right. I'll let you go. Yeah,
there's 3 that I'm or 2 really that I know you're excited about. Anyway, Uncharted, never played a single one.
What? No way.
Yes.
See, that's what I didn't like about this collection is that it's only 4 and the Lost Legacy.
Oh fuck, really?
I was hoping it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is incredible. So like getting a PS5 version of it, they do have an HD remastered of all of them. They just released a collection of it. Okay. It's called the Nathan Drake collection. That you can probably get for like $20 now. I would suggest playing it because they're some of the best games, period. But yeah, it's 4 and the Lost Legacy, which is the DLC.
Hell yeah.
Which is excellent, and that is something to be excited about.
I should have just taken like 2 weeks off in between jobs and just like caught up on shit.
Hey man, it's all right. You got weekends, baby.
I don't though.
And you can just hang out after work. Be like, hey, I'm not having sex tonight. I'm playing a video game. I've made the choice. It's worth it. And then you have sex after the video games, and then it's better.
Okay, win-win.
But no, it's.
Like, I don't know if that's worth it.
No, that is really exciting. I'm glad you brought that up. I actually wasn't going to bring that up.
Giraffes are cool, but I still haven't finished.
Oh, Last of Us. I was like, yeah, dude, you got to get that. But no, Uncharted is incredible. Nathan Drake's champ. The fact that you never played, do you like Indiana Jones? I mean, that's really what.
I will love the game. I just have not played it.
Yeah, I would say get the Nathan Drake collection. Because I guarantee it's like $15 or $20 now. It's all of them remastered.
I think I might actually have it when I bought it, like when I was furloughed. I just haven't gotten to it.
Oh, dude, check it out. You can
because I played SpiderMan for so long.
So you can. Those are their narrative storyline. So there's not open world.
Yes.
Granted, so is Last of Us. So it shouldn't take you that long, but it might. It's probably only 12 hours, but. The stories in these games and the way they built, you can kind of see like how Naughty Dog started and got to where it is. I mean, started as Crash Bandicoot, but yeah, and it goes full circle in 4 that it's just so perfect. I mean, 4 is such a perfect game, and like ending to the series. Although we hope there's a 5, but it's it's been a while, so I was kind of hoping that announcement was going to be 5.
Yeah,
but I wish they did a PS5 remake of all of them. I can see why they just did it with the PS4 one because it was probably easier to do since they had the remastered collection of the rest. Yeah. But no, those are definitely 2 things to be excited about. The other one, so there's 2 massive announcements. Spider-Man, probably 3. Spider-Man 2 is also a massive announcement.
Yes.
One is from the same studio, which is why I'm saying they're the MVP. That one I'm going to hold for last. That's going to be my number 1. The other one is something that I did not ever expect. One, to get announced, really. It's just a dream that we hope. I've mentioned it on this podcast as being one of the best like RPGs I've ever played. Things like that. Definitely the best Star Wars game. And I really didn't expect it to get announced at Sony as an exclusive because when this game literally came out, it was exclusive to Xbox. What are we talking about? KOTOR is fucking back. Knights of the Old Republic is fucking back, and it's exclusive to PlayStation 5. And then it's a time exclusive. It'll go on PC. But it's not on the Xbox. And it was an Xbox OG game.
Guess what else I haven't played?
Probably KOTOR.
Correct.
Oh, it's so crazy. But yeah, KOTOR is fucking back. This is the best, one of the best RPGs I've ever, I like story-driven RPGs I've ever played. The best Star Wars game. Next to like Dark Forces 2.
Yeah, no, that's what I hear. It's like one of those that like I've just gotten so far away from it that like I'd have to go dig up an old system to play it. But now
or just wait, yeah. And also, the story, but it's not just the gameplay, it's the story. It's just an incredible Star Wars story.
Yeah.
It's so well done. The Secret Remaining PS5, hopefully they'll add some new stuff too, because a lot of the remakes seem to do that. I'm just so excited for this. It's going to include like all DLC or anything else that additional, but hopefully, you know, they can buff it up, baby.
Yeah.
It's very exciting, and I can't wait. I was like, oh my God. And I didn't expect it. Both these things talking about, I didn't expect. Because there wasn't really leaks. I mean, and we didn't see any gameplay. There was no date, so we don't know. But it was just you saw like the main character. Also, the main voice actress is coming back to voice her role.
That's fucking sweet.
I mean, it's just a lot of cool stuff. They're showing respect and bringing it forward. One thing that did leak, speaking of remaster, so the KOTOR is a remake, ground up remake, not a remaster, which is what it needs. There is a remaster that I'm excited about. This was leaked by themselves, actually. Is Alan Wake.
Yeah,
which I'm really excited
don't know what that is.
So it was exclusive to Xbox. It's basically Twin Peaks as a game.
Word.
So it's kind of like
I haven't seen that. But I hear it's right up my alley.
You're in this sleepy. Yeah. It has probably one of the best, the best towns, the best settings in like gaming. Period is probably Alan Wake. It's just a really good noir, like sleepy town, lake town, like sleepy mountain town noir. But it's just so well done, and they lean into, what's the word I'm looking for? They lean into the
supernatural.
Well, yeah, definitely supernatural, but I'm saying like when it's something expected, like action genres do this tropes, yes. But it does them very smartly.
That's
just like Twin
kind of
Peaks
like Cabin in the Woods type thing.
Kind of, but that was like Cabin in the Woods is excellent.
It's like funny.
I hate people that think that's bad writing. I had someone told me that was bad writing. I was like, it's excellent writing. I was like, it's not bad writing because it has those things. It's actually great writing the way it implements those things, and then it acknowledges the crazy is actually a very smart, self-deprecating way of doing it that it feels fresh and new. Anyways, not to go on that tirade, but no, Alan Wake, I'm very excited, and it's going to have all the DLC as well with it. So, and it's never been on Sony ever. It was always exclusive to Xbox, so it's cool to see that come over.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like when they're that kind of stuff.
All right, the biggest announcement that I think. KOTOR was pretty close. SpiderMan 2 pretty close. But that no one expected. And this destroyed gaming Twitter. Because they were so pissed off. Now,
AKA, if you haven't heard of it by now, you're an idiot.
Yeah, so console wars are fucking stupid. Just play whenever you want. Game Pass made consoles irrelevant. Like, you can just get on PC. Everybody's going to get everything anyways. But, so stop bitching. Xbox had their conference 3 months ago, or no, it was June, right? Yeah. I guess like 3 months ago now. You know, they announced a bunch of cool exclusive stuff coming, Halo Infinite, all this other stuff. All these Xbox people were like, oh, where's all the exclusive? Where's the cool announcement? Like Sony had a showcase that they just didn't do. And they're like, the whole time I was like, what are you talking about? Like, they're making games. They didn't do their version of E3, so you can't really start shitting on them until they do it, and then it sucks.
Yeah.
And I really do not give a fuck about the console wars. I play Xbox, I play Sony. But it's just funny seeing all the Xbox people for the last 3 months dunk on Sony and be like, Sony sucks, there's whatever. Xbox has the best exclusive, makes sense because we bought Bethesda. Of course Starfield should be exclusive. Of course Elder Scrolls should be exclusives. They still kind of bitch that Spider-Man is exclusive. Well, Spider-Man 2 is going to be exclusive. And then they also mentioned, which Deathloop 2 is probably going to be on Xbox because Arcane is owned by Bethesda, which now is owned by Xbox. Yeah. And they were just honoring that contract. Although I think Deathloop 2 will not be exclusive to Xbox. I think they will make a contract with Sony since the first one was on Sony.
All right.
But so they're all saying like exclusive. But then when exclusive comes up, that's very exciting that a lot of people want, KOTOR being one of them, Spider-Man being another, then it's a different fucking story. And it's like, you can't have it both ways. Either you like the exclusives or you don't. I love exclusives because it gives you a reason to get that specific console. Xbox sold themselves out by not doing that, but they're still exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem, so you still have to get Game Pass to play them, which is fine. Yeah. So you're going to get it on PC if you have that, or if you can't spend the money to get a similar quality PC or already have a similar quality PC, then get the Series X console when it's available, or Series S, whatever, and then you can play it too and have fun. With all that being said, Insomniac, the MV studio that released Spider-Man remastered, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank, all on PS5 in the last 6 months, announced Spider-Man 2, and because they can't stop, they won't stop. They can't just do one fucking thing at a time. They announced fucking Wolverine as a motherfucking video game. Gonna be awesome. I cannot wait. I'm peaking right now, literally on the audio, because I'm so stoked. And I guarantee you, because Insomniac is developing this in-house, and they faked everybody out. It was like Insomniac Games, Marvel, and everybody's like, Spider-Man 2, how's Spider-Man 2? This weird destroyed bar is an interesting way of showing Spider-Man. And then it's like, and then it just show out and you just see the spikes come out. And it's like, bang. They did confirm it is going to be mature rating, mature theme for Wolverine's true character.
Fuck yeah.
Which they have done before. But I bet you that because of this license they have with Marvel, and they have the Guardians of the Galaxy game coming as well, but that's multiplayer.
Which also looks great.
Yeah, that's multiplayer. That comes out in October. That looks great. That's multiplayer. I guarantee you, the Spider-Man, because it's so massive, Spider-Man and Wolverine are in the same universe, 100%.
Oh, you think so?
Both the Marvel properties, they're both by the same fucking game developer. There is no way. We've never seen this before. They're going to try to create the MCU in Insomniac Games. We're getting the Insomniac Games gaming universe, the IGGU, I guess.
Oh.
And I guarantee, with the Marvel properties that they can buy up, I guarantee it that there are Spider-Man references in 2, or Wolverine references in Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man references in Wolverine. But I would go so far, I'll even venture further, that I guarantee you Spider-Man or Wolverine, I guarantee you Wolverine is in Spider-Man 2, 100%. No doubt. And
I'll put $20 on that.
I will bet Spider-Man or Peter Parker are in Wolverine as well. I guarantee they're going to do that because I think they realize, look at what Marvel's doing in the cinematic. What if we could do that in the gaming space? It's hard. But we have these exclusive lightning. And this is now, everybody's bitching. We can't wrap up Wolverine. You can't wrap up Spider-Man. It's like, you said you were fine with Halo. You said you were fine with Starfield. You said you're fine with SOS, which also isn't confirmed to be exclusive.
Yeah.
But
I also don't know if, like, it's bold to say. I don't know if Xbox can handle it. They're too all over the place.
I don't think any. I think I would have said Naughty Dog or Rockstar, but to be honest, this is why I'm saying. I mean, Insomniac is a naughty fucking Rockstar. They, are the MVP. They're the only studio I think could actually do this, and I think they did do it. I think this is because it went Wolverine, then showed Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
I think this is their way of saying, "Hey, this is what we're doing. We are," and they proved it. They had 3 games coming on PS5. PS5 came out last November. 3 games, 1 studio. How the fuck do you do that? Now maybe they'll get less.
I would
IP,
just say a large team,
but they're not even that. They're not even that fucking large. That's the thing. Now,
I feel like they just have to be. But
well, they're definitely growing because I mean they're crushing it. But I would bet that they might even kind of dwindle off other IPs and go full in. If this works, I bet that it's like if they can get Wolverine. They got Spider-Man. They got Wolverine. That means they have a Spider-Man property, so you can get Venom, Carnage, all those guys. But if you're making Wolverine his own game, own game exclusive to Sony. What possible reason could you do that? And what possible reason, if you do it in the same Insomniac way of telling the story, telling an open world, mature story of Logan, that you want to create a product, who does he blatantly introduce that you have to then have a game to address that a game does not exist to address.
Deadpool,
I will bet $1,000 is in Wolverine, and so is Sabretooth, because they're so clinched to his storyline.
Yeah,
but well, no, if they would have used Tom Holland as a Spider-Man voice, I would have been like, I bet you Ryan Reynolds. Although to be honest, I kind of bet that Ryan Reynolds is going to voice Deadpool.
I could see that.
Even though I like to know they keep their gaming universe separate from the cinematic, like Spider-Man's not Tom Holland.
I also wonder what
he kind of traverses that by definition of his character.
Yeah.
And I kind of expect Insomniac Spider-Man to show up in Spider-Man MCU.
Yeah.
As part of the multiverse.
That'd be
but
dope.
no, who I'm saying is the X-Men.
Oh, well, all of the X-Men.
Yeah, I bet if the sales success, I bet they're building up into PS5 exclusive Insomniac X-Men game.
I mean, maybe, but I also think that it's too big of a bite to chew in the next 5 years.
It is. Well, the thing is, I think they're going to release these two, and I think they're already starting it. I literally think they're laying the groundwork to do this, because this is so crazy fucking out there that they're doing both, and it's like, why are you doing both with Marvel properties?
Yeah,
they're great, but you're not going to not reference each other, because that would be stupid, right? Because then it's better sales, right? But then it's like, well, what else can we have the playground? Can we do a standalone Deadpool game? Maybe.
Yeah.
But he can also kind of fall in line with Wolverine. But Wolverine directly falls in line with X-Men. Spider-Man also directly falls in line with X-Men. A lot of ties to X-Men. It's kind of all like going like, how do you not make an X-Men game?
Well, I also feel like there will just be X-Men in this.
That's my point, though.
It completely devoid of X-Men.
That's my point.
I just don't want them to be
introduce
like a full game.
I
want
think
it to be like bits and pieces.
I think there will be a full X-Men game that's like Insomniac Games X-Men.
Very cool.
Because I know, I get it. You're like, they're telling the solo story of Spider-Man, but now they're not really, because it's Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker plus Miles Morales, so he at least has two.
I feel like that's a fair progression, though.
Right. So you have two narratives. Wolverine will probably go Wolverine, Sabretooth, Wolverine, Deadpool, or something. But he has to eventually go to the X-Men. It has to be part of the story. So they're going to be in this game or referenced. But then it's like, how do you not go into that well? And they're not dumb. They see this. Marvel Games is trying to expand. They've hired a shitload of people in the last 30 days. They've hired a fuckload of people that have officially announced their jobs since the PlayStation Showcase. A lot of people. Which makes me believe you are beefing this up way after these two announcements. Yeah. Marvel Games seems to have some deal with Sony, probably because they own the rights to Spider-Man. They don't own the rights to Wolverine.
Yeah.
So the whole rule of like, the reason why Sony gets Spider-Man is because their cinema deal. Maybe, but also Sony Pictures, the Sony Pictures and Sony Studios are two completely different companies.
Yeah.
They're under the same conglomerate, but it's not like saying like they just knock on the door and be like, we have the same thing too, right? Like it doesn't really, that's not how licensing works.
No, it is not.
Now, do they maybe know a couple people and stuff, and that's how they got those phone calls? Yeah. But to be fair, Wolverine, Xbox fucked up. They could have done this. They absolutely could have done this. They absolutely could have done KOTOR remake. They're buying studios, which is great. I think Sony was like, we're going to go for IPs.
Yeah.
And we're going to go hard in IPs. I guarantee they pay you a lot to get the Wolverine. But I guarantee you that license fee and that a lot they paid was not just for Wolverine.
Yeah.
They only announced
it's kind of like Facebook versus Google, where like Google is like still just creating all these like new platforms and shit in the background.
Right.
Where Facebook's just like buying other companies and folding it into their network. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this shit shakes out, because that's very interesting.
I really, really think we're going to see the Marvel universe, but in gaming.
I'm just excited for Knights of the Old Republic.
I really think that's the thing, because also Marvel Midnight Suns looks like we talked about the other time. The interesting part is, though, we know a couple that aren't under this property: Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel Midnight Suns.
Okay,
because they're multi-platform. Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Wolverine.
The Guardians game does. The more I see of it, the more excited I'm getting about it.
Oh, it looks amazing. But we know that and the Avengers are multi-plat.
Yeah.
They already did an Avengers game.
Because they had that, like...
But you know who's not in that?
The
Wolverine.
Avengers?
And Spider-Man's only in the Sony version.
Ah.
And Wolverine's not in that game. You know who's also not in it? A lot of the X-Men.
All right.
You got the Fantastic Four, so they don't own that. We don't. The Guardians of the Galaxy has its own game. X-Men seem really devoid in all of these games that are getting made.
Yeah.
Like really devoid.
Yeah.
It's like, where the fuck are the X-Men? Maybe because Sony bought the entire license of them and was like, we'll do Spider-Man. We'll ease into it with Wolverine because it's everybody's favorite because Hugh Jackman kind of got everybody into it.
Yeah.
And I think historically, he's probably one of the most popular ones. But then he's like, then we're going to have, I think, X-Men Academy or something, and it's kind of going to lead into that.
Do you think they're going to throw all of them together? That's what I don't want to happen.
I think it will build to that. I think that will be like a piece. I think they will build. I think they will build into an open world X-Men game where you can pick an X-Men to play, kind of how Avengers is, but better done, is what I hope. But I don't. I'm looking at this. I don't see any other outcome. Like, there's no way they're not doing this.
I just want them to like buy some thing that like they get them for the next 20 years and take their time with it and really like build out the stories.
I don't think X-Men will come out for like 5 years.
Either way, I don't want it to be all of the X-Men in one game.
No, I think it'll be like 4 or 5. I think they'll like be like, these are like the main ones we're following.
Yeah.
The other ones are referenced or you see them. But it's like, hey, Cyclops, how's it going? And like that's the conversation with Cyclops. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like Spider-Man wasn't every fucking Spider-Man villain. I don't think they're going to do all the X-Men. But I think with Wolverine, you have to get Jean Grey.
Yeah. I think there are some really cool opportunities to open it up for... I
think there'll be solo games.
Solo games that cross over all over the place.
That go into... Like the Netflix series. There was Daredevil and all that. Then it went to the Defenders.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be one. There's going to be a couple solo games, and there'll be a DLC or something that is all of them.
I also so what I want to see is like you come out with Wolverine, then you come out with Cyclops.
Fuck that!
And
play the game.
That's fine.
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
Who would be the next person that you would want?
Probably Iceman, I love Iceman.
Okay.
But no, I get what you're saying. You want them all as solo stories so they're built up and they get that.
What would be really cool is there are like a whole suite of like levels or stories or whatever in the second game that you only get if you have the Wolverine game.
Right.
And they start building this out where it's like
you get Wolverine and you get this exclusive DLC for Cyclops or something.
Yeah. And they all weave together, and there's like little hidden stories where it's like,
but I think
that
will just be part of the game.
games.
I think that's going to be part of the game. I think there'll be levels in Wolverine that we see one side of the game, the story.
Yes.
And then when we play Spider-Man 2, we're going to see the other side of that story.
Yeah, there's an event from another perspective or something like that.
But they're both, you see each other. Just in that game, he's an NPC. He does something, and then when you play the other one, you're going to be like, wait, I did this in the fucking game. I think that's kind of what it's going to be.
There's a lot of ways that you can play with it.
It'd be very, but the crazy part is it's not even that Sony's doing both of these. It's that Insomniac, the same fucking developer, is doing that. I wouldn't think this if it was just Sony, because I'm like but it's not only the same publisher, it's the same developer. It is in-house. Insomniac is just becoming a superhero IP, and they're really fucking good at it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't have more than this. I think this is like when Wolverine comes out there. I'm like, I think the end of Wolverine is the tease for the X-Men game, or something like the next X-Men game.
I'll put a pin in it. We'll come back.
So it might not be.
We'll see if you
because if you played Spider-Man, it had an ending of Harry in the tube.
Yeah.
But if you played Miles Morales, it had an ending, and the camera was inside the tube, and you as Harry. And it was a couple months later saying, we're ready to release. Spider-Man 2, then, now we see Venom, which is a symbiote that looked like to be on here. So they're very familiar with doing the 2 camera angles piece in their games already. And they kind of already set that standard. There's no release date for Wolverine. 2023 for Spider-Man. With no release date for Wolverine, probably 2024.
Yeah.
Maybe 2023. But if it is, I bet you it's after Spider-Man 2 because Spider-Man 2's teaser is probably Wolverine.
Yeah.
Who invented the after credits teaser?
I mean,
not in general, but in the public
Marvel.
knowledge.
Obviously
Marvel,
yeah.
right. Marvel, when they were building their MCU.
Yeah.
Insomniac seems to have taken that directly out of their book since the original Spider-Man game they made in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like that's where they're going. So I think Wolverine's teaser is not going to be Spider-Man 3 or whatever, or Wolverine 2. I think it's going to be more Deadpool, X-Men, Professor Xavier, whatever the fuck. I don't know. It feels like we're building to something, and it's very exciting to see because it's literally something we haven't seen before.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. All right. Well, with that, I think we got a pretty good amount in.
We got a lot in.
So we're going to get some trivia. You got some trivia this week?
Oh, I got some trivia.
Hit me up.
You want some trivia?
I love
All right.
So. Oh, we also announced Project Eve, which looks exciting, and Forsaken.
Forsaken looks cool. Forsaken looks freaking sweet. It's a whole...
I don't know enough about it. It looks really cool, the movement speed and stuff. I want to know more about it before I talk about it more in depth. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. Ghostwire Tokyo is all over the fucking place.
I think that looks
Forspoken, not Forsaken.
I thought I said that. My bad.
Yeah,
right, so trivia.
It looks fucking wild. Like, yeah. There's a lot to it.
It's still no PS VR 2 shit.
Yeah.
I know. I love that we spent a lot of this year talking about VR.
Yeah.
And we haven't for months.
All right. I do need to buy more games. There's a game on VR that I saw that looked awesome that I was just like, I'll get it later. But I really need to cash in on that and get it. All right. So.
Trivia! Season 2. Opening triv. Yeah.
We're doing PlayStation Showcase throwbacks. So I am going to give you the game.
I hate this.
You tell me when the original game came out.
Okay.
God of War.
2018.
No, OG.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought you meant the sequel, the one before Ragnarok.
I'll give you 2 years.
2003.
2005.
Got 2 years though, so.
Grand Theft Auto.
Are you doing Grand Theft Auto 3 or Grand Theft Auto 1?
Grand Theft Auto 1.
1997.
Bingo. On the dot. Alan Wake.
2007.
2010. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Gran Turismo.
Oh, god damn it. I fucking... 2000.
97.
Damn it. I was actually thinking that too.
SpiderMan on the Atari.
Oh, that's bullshit. I thought you were going to give me there. It's 2018 for the Insomniac. The IGGU.
I'm over.
1987.
2.
Ugh.
Wolverine on the NES.
Oh, dude. I know. 1991.
Bingo. On the dot. Knights of the Old Republic.
This one I should know and I don't. This is bad. 2001.
2003.
A minute.
Borderlands.
Oh, because the Tiny Tina's.
Yep.
Wonderlands. Probably 2007.
2009. Uncharted, Drake's Fortune.
When did I play the first one? 2004.
2007.
I was going to say 2007 too.
And Rainbow Six.
Oh, there's like 1,000 of those.
There
are. 97.
98.
Cool.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 10. All right. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. You got something for me?
Yes. So part of this was going to be it's Marvel games. I was thinking you touched on one, so I'll take Spider-Man out of this. But I thought a more interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
What is the second video character that Marvel game character was made? 1982 was Spider-Man. That was the OG. There was another game made 2 years later in 84. What Marvel character was that? And then here I'll just ask my full thing because it might be easier. Why I'm doing that? Because I'm nuts. All right, Spider-Man was the first character made, right? So I will give you.
Tell me video games or in like comic books?
Video games.
Okay.
Video games. I'm only talking video game podcast, baby. All right. So after Spider-Man, in the next 5 years, they made a few other games. One developer mainly, one other developer outside of it, made a couple different characters. They made one additional Spider-Man game, so I'll just take that off the board. So right. Spider-Man's there twice. Other than that, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Can you tell me who those 4 characters are?
I'm going to say Hulk.
Technically, there's actually 5, so we're going to say 5.
All right. This is a tough one because I feel like there were just other things that were popular that just aren't really now. Yep. We'll throw Iron Man in there. I doubt that's it, but
he was like D-list, by the way, until the movie.
I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah. That was my way of telling you that's wrong. Hulk is correct. Hulk is the next one after Spider-Man.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Because Lou Ferrigno's.
Exactly,
yep.
Yeah.
See, they kind of go off what's going on in TV and movies, kind of like Insomniac, creating the universe.
Yep.
All right. So you got Hulk, Iron Man. I need 3 more. 4 more. Just.
Yeah, right. I know. I keep just like defaulting to DC, and that just isn't how it works.
Yeah, that's not them. I mean, you could say them. That would be wrong. This is specific.
Captain America.
This is specific to Marvel, to be clear, not superheroes in general.
Yes, Captain America.
That is correct. That he is one of. He's not the next one, but he is one of in that list. These are all coming out on just while you're thinking. The Commodore 64, the ZX Spectrum, MSX, Apple II, Amstrad, Atari ST, Atari 2600, Atari 8-bit, some DOS action up there, Commodore 16, the Dragon 3236.
I'm going to say Thor, even though I'm pretty sure that's not right.
Okay. Need 2 more. You've guessed 4, and you're actually 2 and 2. So not bad.
All right. Shit.
And I know.
Now I just feel like a Marvel failure.
Just name Marvel characters. These are. One is difficult. The other, there's 3 left because you got a couple wrong. There's 3 left that you need to mention. Then you have 2 guesses left. 2 of the 3 are incredibly obvious. 1 is not. So you could go 100% for your last 2.
Okay. Why does this hurt? My brain's so bad. Shit.
I want to say something, but it would kind of give it away.
I know. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Just write out 2 names, because then I'll give you the hint and I'll see if you what you change.
Can I just say like X-Men as like a general thing? Okay.
Yes.
Then X-Men.
My hint was going to be you can say a group.
Oh, okay. Can we double down on the group?
I've given that was a pretty big fucking hint. I was like,
yeah.
You got this, baby.
Shit, who else like the Wolverine? Storm.
Okay. So
yeah.
All right.
I wanted to say that since the beginning. But
who is an X-Men, by the way? But all right. So Hulk is correct. Literally the next game.
Yeah.
Then there was another Spider-Man game. I already told you that in the beginning, so we cut that. The next one, so Iron Man's not one. The next one was Fantastic Four.
Oh, there we go.
Which I was like, group is a big deal. Then it was blank, because I'll say that at the end because I just think it's funny to say. Then you did get Captain America. Thor is not one, and X-Men was one. So X-Men is correct. The one you didn't guess, which is the one I thought you would say was Fantastic Four. Because X-Men, I was saying X-Men for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, how are you not fucking mentioning it? But
and I've played X-Men.
And the reason why I was saying group is a hint because Fantastic Four is also just a group.
Yeah.
So the one that you didn't say, which I said, to be fair, I did say one is like you probably won't, but it would have been awesome if you did, is Howard the Duck.
Ah, okay. Yep.
Howard the Duck was the 5th ever Marvel game ever.
That's great.
And that includes 2 Spider-Man games. So 4th character. Well, I guess Fantastic Four is 4, but
yeah. That's great.
It's pretty crazy. And it was done. The publisher was the first superhero they published was Activision. And it was Howard the Duck. There we go, baby. Ending on a high note. Well-known character that everybody loves. Howard the Duck that smokes cigars and drinks like a champ. And
I also like
everybody.
that. What's the dog's name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Cosmo?
Yeah. That he's like heavily featured.
Oh, I love it. Well, he actually was a leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, yeah.
I'm really excited to see him in the game and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not excited to play it, but I am.
No?
Because my dog is, she's getting trained, but like,
yes.
God damn it. She's
It's
like,
gonna
Cosmo.
be.
I'm like, Cosmo, get the fuck off the screen.
Well, also Rocket the whole time.
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit about Rocket. Trash pandas don't matter to her. That's a fact.
I have a hard time believing that, but
it's weird. Yeah, it's really weird the things that she does decide to bark at and not. It's whatever.
yeah.
Anyways, on that note, Howard the Duck, baby. Anyway, season 2, I think you started off the high note. A lot of interesting stuff. We got more to talk about. We're excited. We like it. We love it. We want more of it. Keep gaming. Keep being glad about it. Bye.
Later, people. Anyone in the